Hey, what's happening everyone? I'm Sir James coming at you guys with another video, and hopefully you guys are doing well. If you missed out on the last video upload, we were taking a look at the Hot Toys Obi-Wan Kenobi based on Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And as you guys know, that figure was great overall, however could easily use a nice companion piece. And for Obi-Wan, there's three logical options. Option number one is Sideshow's General Grievous. Second option is either Sideshow or the new upcoming Hot Toys release of Commander Cody, which that one is available for pre-order. Put a link down to him below, and yes, I have one on pre-order, so you will expect a future video whenever he actually comes out. It keeps getting pushed back because of the whole COVID situation. And the third and logical option is, of course, his apprentice, Anakin Skywalker. Now, for the Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker for Revenge of the Sith, there was actually two different releases. In fact, this particular release didn't get a deluxe edition, which was a bit odd, and I think that's why there was this whole issue amongst the community upon this figure release. But the original release was basically Anakin still on the light side of the Force, still kind of struggling with his mixed feelings and whatnot, but he hasn't been fully corrupted to the dark side just yet. Even comes with Count Dooku's lightsaber, so you can kind of recreate that moment, do it. Or the second option for the release is the dark side Anakin Skywalker, which is what we're going to be taking a look at in today's video. Honestly, between both versions, they're pretty great, though on the secondhand market, these guys have gone up quite a bit, that's for sure. But, if you did miss out on an Anakin release, there is a brand new one available for pre-order based on the Clone Wars variant. Looks pretty neat, which I am going to be placing a pre-order. I'm still trying to decide if I want to get the standard one or the one with the included vehicle. But I have until 2022 to figure out what I want anyways. So let's go ahead and pretty much change the camera angles around and take a closer look at the dark side Anakin Skywalker. Alright, so here is the front of the box for the dark side Anakin Skywalker. As you can see all the way around, he looks very good and quite menacing with our exclusive sticker over here on the top left hand side. Just a quick overview of the packaging. Again, pretty simple as the boxes always are, with of course some product information located on the very back. Let's go ahead and set this down and get right into it. And I do have some good news. Now, for the dark side Anakin Skywalker, there's different options. You could have them with Obi-Wan Kenobi, or if you have a bunch of 501st Troopers, those will also make a great companion piece for this, which I actually did snag a 501st Trooper just today actually, so when he comes in I will do a video on it as well, but I do have a couple of troopers that I'll bring over next to him. But anyways, first thing that we have, just like with the Obi-Wan, is that we have this really nice little card back here, and I'm thinking of getting a frame for this in the Obi-Wan and having these pinned up somewhere on the wall. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the video wall or somewhere else, but again, great overall image, capturing the moment. And here's our packaging here. He's pretty straightforward. He doesn't come with a lot of stuff like the Obi-Wan did. Just very simple hands, lightsaber, really nice base, and then of course the figure itself. Now, by the way, if you guys are kind of curious, I know someone asked me in the last video, how come I have it to where you just see my mouth, not the rest of my face? Is because with the face tracking enabled, I want the camera to mostly focus on objects that I'm holding forward, and it does a good job picking up the face of the figures, which is why I'm doing it like that. So let's go ahead and we'll take out the basic portion of the accessories first before we get to the other highlights here. We got all that. His lightsaber. So he's definitely got a handful of accessories. I know, bad joke. Alright, so now that we got the basics out of the way, let's go ahead and start with his lightsabers, because I know a lot of you guys usually come to this channel for lightsabers. So as far as this lightsaber goes, it doesn't have any electronics installed, doesn't have smooth swing support or anything like that. And yes, obviously I'm joking around with features like that, but again, here is his lightsaber. Very neat all the way around. It's got a nice shine to it. I do have a little black peg already on here that's usually separate in the box. This will actually allow you, when you detach it, like so. You could actually clip this onto his belt, so he is using a cover tech well right there. He also has a lightsaber blade effect. So if you want to pose him in a swinging motion, or maybe you kind of have him posed up with Obi-Wan and a swinging gesture, the blade effect will help you kind of capture that moment. Some people like the effect pieces, some people don't. So doesn't really matter to me as long as it kind of looks cool. That's how I see it. Now, if you did want to have the lightsaber light up, you do have the light up arm attachment. Obviously, he seems pretty plain because he actually has a little cuff link that you remove in order to put it on and whatnot. But I usually don't use these anymore because the LED lighting on these things are very basic. They're not really that bright. If they were to update these to make them a lot brighter and to make the blade actually look a lot better, I think that would be excellent. But just for how these are right now, these don't really do it justice. But when you do install the batteries, you do just have a basic LED. Again, no sound for motion or anything like that. And again, I'm just kidding around with those extra features. But if it did, that'd be pretty neat. If it had actually a humming sound, I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe in the future. Let's see. He also has he does have two different fists. That we have the gloved hand fist, and he's also got a another one, which is actually on him right now. That's basically what he comes with by default, because one of the other hand attachments I have on him right now. He does have a lightsaber holding hand. He has one with the ungloved and gloved hand. The gloved version is actually on the figure right now. Kind of saves us, a few seconds of our time here. Continuing on with the gloved hand, we have the Force choking hand. So during that particular moment where he was choking out Padme, you can kind of recreate that moment or have him force choke another character. You have this kind of like, I don't know, not exactly force pushing or anything like that. It's kind of like a chokehold kind of way. Almost like if he was using the force to grab a hold of something and to crush it. I feel like maybe that's the kind of gesture you're going with for that one. The other one here is another kind of grabbing or choking or some kind of maneuver. I'm not entirely sure, to be quite honest. Then you have this one here. This one, it was that moment where he was on Mustafar and he went to go and kill Viceroy. I can't believe I butchered the name. But, he went in and he was kind of using that gesture to use the force to close the doors in the room. That would be for this gesture here. Very neat. And then he's got a open force hand. So kind of like that moment where him and Anakin were using the force at one another and then flung each other across the room. You can kind of recreate that moment as well. And then the last hand here, a bit of a weird accessory to have with this guy. But, maybe you like this particular one overall. I mean, this would only work if you had the burnt up version of Anakin Skywalker. But you have his cybernetic hand right here. Now, what's actually really cool about this hand is that all these little fingers here, all these little knuckles and joints and whatnot, these can fully articulate. So let me kind of do it in like he's giving a thumbs up here. Let's see. See, thumbs up there. Or if you really wanted to, which I'm not going to do it, but you could actually give it to the point where he's actually giving the bird. You could have him posed up with this arm where he's flipping off Obi-Wan if you really wanted to do so. So again, you do have options there depending on what you want to do. As far as his base go, he doesn't have a traditional base that you would expect. He actually has a really nice fancy looking base here where he's got the little lava droid. I'm not sure the actual name of the droid here. There's too many facts in Star Wars to memorize. Now the cool thing about this base here is actually you could install some batteries and it actually does light up. The eyes of the droid lit up, and then of course you got the lighting for the lava effect. It's really well done. And there's actually a stand. It's actually currently underneath Anakin. But if you remove this top piece here, you could actually plug in the stand that goes right in there. And it's as simple as that. And that just kind of reconnects. And that is pretty much that. And last but not least, besides the typical stuff, you know, the batteries for the lightsaber arm, and then the extra part of the stand, is that you do have right here Anakin Skywalker out of the box, looking already great. Now the cool thing about this dark side Anakin, it's not just, okay, Anakin, if you basically look closely in the eyes, you can see those Sithy eyes look that he has going on. Very cool and menacing, that is for sure, and really nice detail all the way around. Now what's pretty neat too is that even though I have just the dark side option, if I wanted to have the other option for the light side, you know, before he's been fully corrupted, before he's now known as Darth Vader, there's actually head sculpts that you can buy online. I think they're like third-party head sculpts, but it looks just as good as this, where I could easily replace this to have that option, depending on what you want to go with. So let me go ahead and remove his robe here. Kind of go over that really quick. So as far as the robe goes, again, it's got this really nice kind of silk, soft goods to it. He actually does have wiring that is located inside the actual hood, and also the collar section as well. But everything else just kind of, it's got this nice weight, so it just has a nice feel when you have this over the body. It just drapes very nicely. Then as far as Anakin himself, again, I'm not going to go over every single piece of articulation. Probably butcher that name as well. I'm like half asleep here. But you guys know when it comes to these figures, they have a lot of great posability. You do have, again, great bend in the actual joints of the elbow, so you can pose them up quite nicely. And then, of course, same thing for the leg here. But you should be able to recreate any of the iconic moments during the fight with Obi-Wan. Now, just like with the Obi-Wan on his tabards here, he actually does have a wire that goes along this edging here. Now, I will point out, at least on mine here, it looks like part of the fabric is kind of coming off, so I'm going to have to kind of re-glue that as best as I can. But that should be an easy fix. The soft goods in general look great. There's no wiring down here, but he has wiring on, at least on this side of his tunic, on the cuffling here. So when you have the, it's basically good when you are putting this on to kind of fold that in. But when you take this off, it's basically just go in here, kind of loosen that up, give it that nice flow and style to it. So you can shape that, and he's got a wiring down here, and it's pretty much straightforward as how that goes. But overall, he is a great looking figure nonetheless. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of take the opportunity to basically give you guys some close-ups, pose them up and whatnot. And then even though I don't have the 501st Trooper that I've managed to snag currently as of today, I will bring over the ARC Trooper 5s and Echo, even though they weren't actually part of this particular moment when Order 66 went down per se, but this is the best I have as far as 501st Troopers go. But again, let me know what you guys think of this character. I think he's great. Again, on the secondhand market, he is a pain to get, inexpensive for sure, but if you're able to find one for a good deal and he is of an interest for you, definitely snag him up for sure. But again, if you wanted to kind of wait, if you wait until 2022, Hot Toys is coming out with a Clone Wars variant of Anakin. And who knows, maybe we might see another dark side Anakin. I'm not entirely sure. I doubt it. But you know what? You know, figures do end up getting released down the road. So it wouldn't surprise me nonetheless. But until then, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys on the next video upload.